This picture is a poster that was made by a company called Insomniac, who promotes electronic music events in order to advertise the festival of New Year's Eve countdown. Insomniac means someone who cannot sleep. They introduce this company's name as the meaning of always being prepared to party, with never sleeping and being awake. That is why this company is not only known for electronic music, but a place for endlessly organizing various festivals or events with many different instruments. And one of them is the New Year's Eve Countdown Festival. Most all countries do a countdown on New Year's Eve, counting backward from 10 to 0 when it's 10 seconds left to 12 a.m. This festival is also for that. However, what is unusual is that the topic of this festival is UFO invasion. So, when you look at the advertising poster, there's a picture drawn of an alien abducting a person. And because this festival goes on for a few days, it is even equipped with a large entertainment facility, and all the facilities within here and music parties are decorated with UFOs and aliens. The video for advertisement also depicts a scene where UFOs are invading the Earth. Let's take a look at it.
You're in your home, go to your prepared shelters or to your basement.
Unsheltered immediately.
Radar evidence of unidentified flying objects.
As you saw, aliens severely attacked the Earth. Not only that, there's even a scene of a person being abducted. But because the video is so fast and it can be missed, we will take a look again slowly at just that part. Right now, the flying saucers flying over the people having a music party. And among them, one person is being abducted, but everyone is absorbed in partying that they are not able to notice that. However, a few staff members take notice of that, and they express through their actions that a UFO abducted a person. Then, the word abducted appears largely on top. I see this as the key message of this festival. This is very far from the New Year image. Aliens are abducting people like this, and UFOs are severely invading the Earth. Then how can this be a Happy New Year? No matter how we see this, this is a day of Earth's destruction, not an image of a hopeful new year. This is exactly depicting what will happen after the rapture. As I mentioned before in a previous video, US's official recognition of UFOs, the UFO is a flying object that is prepared in order to set up the rapture as an alien abduction. Because of this, for Satan and the dark forces, UFOs can be objects that symbolize the rapture. With that in mind, when looking at this poster, we can know that the title Countdown indicates the countdown to the rapture, not to the new year or day of the appearance of UFOs. Because Satan is a spiritual being, he perceives that the rapture has already entered into the countdown. And through these kinds of festivals, he is making that known, while at the same time advertising even the UFO plan to cover up the rapture. Honestly, I was surprised the moment I saw this poster, because I said that the countdown to the rapture actively started from the sixth seal in the previous video, reason sixth seal is not the Great Tribulation, and proof it's been opened. And not too long after that, I posted a UFO video, but in the picture of this poster, it depicted the contents of those two videos that talked about the countdown and UFOs. Satan definitely knows that the rapture entered into the countdown from the sixth seal. That is why that countdown depicts the end day as the day that the UFO invades Earth, and the one world government to be established at that time is being celebrated through New Year's. I was surprised when I saw these meanings contained in the picture, and at that time the Lord gave me the heart that with this poster to convey that the countdown is coming to an end through the present situations happening. And so, I will share a few things about those situations. First, when we look at the nuclear World War III that's been prepared through the war between Russia and Ukraine, we can know that the rapture countdown is almost finished. Currently, Russia is showing signs of wanting to use tactical nuclear weapons from having pushback with conventional warfare. However, because Ukraine is not in the state of having joined NATO yet, NATO and the US do not have a reason to participate in the war with just tactical nuclear weapons that are not intercontinental ballistic missiles. It is not that easy to make the decision to use intercontinental ballistic missiles, which is nuclear weapons, because if it is used once, a nuclear war would spread into the whole world, so they also have to be cautious. That is why Russia is trying to use tactical nuclear weapons, which have a lot higher power than conventional weapons, but less impact than nuclear weapons. If they use this, or even if they don't use this but only make threats, there's possibility that the war will momentarily cease, with NATO and the US as the mediator, saving face of both sides. Just like its name, it plays the role as a tactical nuclear weapon. Because the rapture has not yet occurred, it seems like it could momentarily go towards that kind of scenario. However, that time will not be long. When the rapture occurs, a nuclear war will happen right away. That could be World War III, or it also could be a war with UFOs that appear, in order to cover up the rapture. After the US officially recognized the existence of UFOs this past May, there are many things coming up on the internet about aliens than any other time. One of them is an article that came up a few weeks ago saying that scientists said alien discovery could start World War III. I don't think that the scientists described a war with aliens as World War III for no reason. And not too long ago, it was content about UFO sightings being usually near battle zones or nuclear weapon facilities for the reason of aliens possibly spying on the war. Furthermore, they are saying that the appearance of UFOs on the battlefields of Russia and Ukraine this time could be for spying on war between humans. The reason why subjects like this about UFOs connected with war keeps increasing more and more seems like it is a message saying that World War III with aliens can happen soon. Not only that, the reason why UFOs are constantly being advertised and ingrained in people as highly developed flying objects is to probably make it known that aside from nuclear weapons, there is no other way to combat them. Anyway, whether the nuclear weapons will be used for World War III or be used as countermeasures to go against UFOs, if a nuclear war happens, mankind will be destroyed. This is the trumpet disaster and is the start of the Great Tribulation. The world will soon enter into the Great Tribulation as the nuclear war has been completely prepared through this war between Russia and Ukraine. This means that the rapture will soon happen, and we can say this is a very clear sign that makes known that the rapture countdown is almost over. Second, another situation that lets us know that the rapture countdown is almost coming to an end is the mark of the beast already having been executed. If you look at the book of Revelation, you can see that after the nuclear war, the mark of the beast becomes forced. But this cannot happen overnight. Moreover, it is impossible to apply the same control system all over the world at once without any training and experience, while 1/3 of the civilization of mankind is in a state of devastation after a nuclear war. That is why we can know that the time of the mark of the beast being first executed is before the nuclear war, not in the Great Tribulation. We can see that it continues into the Great Tribulation. Without this substance, people cannot enter the mart or restaurant, which we are in a state of awareness that this is the system of buying and selling, by already having experienced this before the Great Tribulation. That is why, even though there is no special training pertaining to this, they are able to understand this system and follow it in the Great Tribulation. The difference is that, before the Great Tribulation, they were given their own right of choice without the identity being revealed. But during the time of the Great Tribulation, it is forced, and through that, the identity of the mark of the beast is clearly revealed. In particular, there will be justified reasons for the mark of the beast to become obligatory through the incident of alien abduction intertwined with cyber attacks due to the nuclear war. In order to protect people from alien abduction and manage the economy and communication network paralyzed by cyber attacks, the mark of the beast will emerge as a law where every person will be required to receive it. There's something important here. the time interval from right of choice going into mandatory is not that far apart. Soon, when the rapture occurs, a nuclear war will happen right away, and after that, the mark of the beast will become mandatory, but it will not take a long time from now until then. This is definitely not something that will happen far later. Because of that, this situation where the mark is currently being executed with right of choice in order to go towards being mandatory lets us know that we are at the point where the rapture countdown is almost finished. Third, it is because the scripture where the Lord said to be on the watch exactly indicates the situation right now. Luke chapter 21 verse 36. Be always on the watch and pray that you may be able to escape all that is about to happen, and that you may be able to stand before the Son of Man. In this scripture, after Jesus explains all that will happen in the Great Tribulation, he makes it known that the only way to escape it is to always pray and be awake. In fact, until not that long ago, many people were awakened due to the pandemic. However, as restrictions worldwide lifted one by one, people started to loosen up again. Even with just the government loosening a little bit, it became an environment for spiritually falling asleep again. However, that substance is still being executed, and on top of that, we are in the situation where even the monkey has emerged. This monkey means the completion of the theory of evolution, and it is the actualization of the movie Planet of the Apes. In other words, mankind is standing in front of the door of the Great Tribulation as they see the completion of the theory of evolution, which goes against God's creation. Nevertheless, because everything looks like it's become calm on the surface, people go back to a peaceful state of mind, eating and drinking, buying and selling, building homes, planting, marrying and giving in marriage, and planning their future. The problem is that due to this kind of atmosphere, even the Lord's brides, their hearts that were awakened all this time, become loosened up again. This kind of environment that is given for a short time is the strategy of Satan trying to make the Christians fall asleep again, knowing well that the rapture is soon. The Lord knew this and told us who are right before the Great Tribulation to be awake so that we can escape the coming tribulation. Thus, the again loosened environment for the brides who were awakened in tension due to the pandemic indicates the situation right before the Great Tribulation, and this signifies that the rapture countdown is soon coming to an end. Going back to the poster again, we can know that the time of the rapture countdown shown in this picture is almost finished when we look at the situations we examined up until now. As I mentioned earlier, the New Year's countdown means counting backwards from 10 to 0 when there are 10 seconds left to 12 o'clock on New Year's Eve. Which means when there isn't much time left, the thing we do is a countdown. But now that time will soon end and we will soon meet the new year. For Satan, the new year is the one world government that will be established with the earth's destruction when the UFOs appear. But for the Lord's brides, the new year is the rapture. Therefore, we must do our best to prepare for the coming of the Lord even until the ending moment of this last countdown. Satan is making people fall into a deep sleep spiritually, drunk on the pleasures of the world, partying, eating, and drinking, with never sleeping and staying awake like insomniacs. However, the Lord's brides must throw away every worldly pleasure and maintain their white robes clean by repenting every moment by moment, having intimate fellowship with the Lord in the Word, and must be deeply awakened spiritually by always offering up living worship through prayer, thanksgiving, and praise. That way, at that moment, when the rapture countdown ends, we can meet the new day together with the Lord in the air. I pray that we all will meet the glorious new day with joy at that time. Jesus is coming soon.